Welcome back, folks. This time we're gonna focus on our residential. As you see, we have basically the one part of the city all sorted, and this time what I did, I used a couple of high rises. As you see, I have them in Glasgow, and as much as I was able to capture that. If you like to see how all of this was made today, please stay on the channel and you see how everything was built today. And if you enjoy the content, I hope you're gonna hit the like button, subscribe to channel, and stay tuned for more content like this. And I will see you within the live game when we have some nice features added on. So as you've seen in today's quick intro, we're gonna focus today on a couple of things. Mainly focus on, I would say, this place. So the first thing, see this rock formation, or we never name it. I would like to keep it. So let's just see what we can do for that. I'm gonna make maybe I'm gonna use road for that, just in case if I'm gonna build around this for like a 1 unit road. There we go. And I would like to prevent this kind of a shape. The only thing, I don't want to have this like a regular, so let's just go for something that nature. There we go. And the other thing I would like to do is see this park in here. I would like to have this focus on this, and there we go, something like so. What will happen with this, that will be kind of a park, like maybe not central, but like a central point with the focus on the station there. Let me just check if we can have a nice road going into that direction. Maybe this one. No, something a bit nicer. Just too many lanes. I would like to have one of those ones like this, maybe. Yeah, that will be fine. We're probably gonna change trees on it, but for now it's absolutely fine. And this road in there, if I switch off anarchy and keep the angle, I can have you there. There we go. And that will give us access to that road. Yeah, I would like to keep it like that for something in the future. So that's our main drag, I will say, going into the station. So everything we're gonna have, we can build around this. The only thing I would like to do is just remove all our zoning, because now when we know what's happening in here, I can actually focus on adding certain points to the city. So that could go away, and there we go. So our districts, neighborhoods, and things like that, and we can use different, there we go, we can use different points for that. So for example, this part in here, that will be our like office commercial usage. There we go. This part in here, mainly that will be I would say high rises for all the residents, so we can use that. And now of course I will clean it in a second. So just for now, it's high density in here, and we're gonna keep it as commercial office use. There we go. And then we can apply different styles to them, which that's what I would like to do. So for now, how you can think about having this. So that's the main road we're gonna have in here. I don't think it's gonna stay with that, you know, straight line. We can change it a bit in between, but at least we know roughly what to expect from it. I would say, because that's the closest to junction we have, we can focus on that road just now. And for this, I would like to make a couple of roads in between, just to keep the right amount of traffic through it. So I would say we can have this road, we're gonna change to the higher road, like 3 lanes. Yeah, that's the same. Let's just see. That's probably too many. That looks actually right. Paris Avenue, I don't think we're gonna have view in there, but that's looking good. What I would like to have, what about you? Yeah, that's looking quite good. It's a UK road, it's wide enough, and couple of trees, so we can use this road there. And then if you go to trees, you can actually change them to something like this. Oh, that looks much nicer. I mean, Young Linden, that's not enough in size, that's too dense. I think there was what's the call for it? Eastern Cottonwood, which I'm not the biggest fan, because it's always giving me a high fever. All the white stuff it's losing, so I would say we're probably gonna go with a chestnut. I always like those trees, and they're really nice, like May, as we have just now. All the exams at high schools and things like that, nature, and that will look good. Same thing can we do in here. Let's just see. Yes, we can. So let's just do this upgrade. Okay, how we looking? Oh yes, that's looking much nicer, and it's just visible quite well. There we go. And then we can build on that. So the first thing you can see, I mean, that's the main park going into the main station, but at the same time, this neighborhood in here, they need, you know, houses. That's the one thing, but I would say they probably need something like a commercial side of it. So I was thinking having something in here. So what I will do now, I'm gonna put roads, basically any road will do, just for now, so I can see what could be done for the commercial side of it, and using find it and commercial. Let's just see what we can do for that. There's a couple of like stores, shops I would like to use as a main one, and let me just think what we can have in the metro. No, maybe no, but I was thinking like a Tesco Express. No, something bigger, like a bigger Waitrose or something that kind of nature. Quite like those, and I'm gonna put them aside. So just bear with me for a second. So the options we have, there's a couple of shops in here. I'll show you how they look like all together, but I'm not gonna use them in here. They look really cool, but for this neighborhood I would like to stay with something different. So we have, let's just go for, we have Tesco, which probably that's first choice. We have Asda, which I'm using for my shopping most often, and we have a couple of those. So I'm just thinking which one of them will be nice add-on in here. I would say Sainsbury probably, with a couple of shops around. So yeah, we're gonna go for this one. That's my choice. Okay, so if that's the case, then what we need to do, we need to select this, and as you can imagine, you know, that's the main entrance to the city, and probably they would like to be visible from outside, so we can use this part in here, like something there we go, something of that nature. The one thing I need to put back on is collision, because that was off. Let's just grab it once more, and I think I'm gonna keep you like there. Yeah, that will be visible from the main road, which is, that's exactly what's about. And I think I'm gonna remove those trees from here. They're nice to have, and they will be back to our build, but I can't see all the things I would like to have in there. There we go. And then we have an option to add a couple of things in here. So for example, using that road, we can have it like this, with some parking like there. But for the parking road, we're gonna use this one probably, and then we have an option to add the actual parking road. Let's just keep the angle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, the only thing with that, I would like to bring this closer than it is just now. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, that will be all good. And then having this, we can add our parking. So first of all, let's just add a couple of those ones just to be close enough. We can have a couple of Ctrl X to unlock. I want to unlock it because I would like to have those ones in there. So something for electrics. Ctrl X, there we go. And we can have 3x2. I think I would like to go for a couple of them at the end. There we go. And that will be probably enough for the car park. We're gonna add water, of course, in a second, but see the front of it, that's absolutely ideal for there we go, for things like let's just add BP station, like they would like to be visible, so let's just go for that. Perfect. Then we can have this McDonald's, that's too small, that's nicer, so let's just go for this one here. Of course, we're gonna move this side, and we're gonna move you like here. So we have McDonald's, we have BP station, and we can have a bit of a plaza in here, in between. That's too much maybe. Something nicer. Oh my, so big. Shady part. No, I would like to have something different. 7x7, that's too much. 12x12, 8x8. We're gonna have something in here. Let me just think for a second what will be the best choice to have in here. I have a couple of those parks. 7x8, no, that's too much. Well, those ones are actually quite nice. Let's just go for something like this nature maybe. We don't need parking in here. Forgot about this one. We can have it here as well. Let me just fight something for it. There we go. I forgot we have this park and plaza, because that's something it's actually looking good in here. And then using our path system, we can have a nice connection between, there we go, those roads, and that will give us an option. You grab something in here and just go and sit for a second. Of course, we're gonna have a couple of bushes in here. I would say probably something smaller, like those ones. They're gonna look good in here. Maybe a couple of those in between, so we're not gonna hide all the stuff happening there. Perfect. And then using those trees we can add a bit of a shade to our paths. There we go. Okay, they look alright. So we have our parking space. I think I can remove, no, I'm gonna remove that road. I'm actually gonna use it to have access to the back of our shop like that, and there we go. I think I'm gonna add a couple of parking spaces here. It doesn't have to be exact, but something like this will be good. Okay, and that's wide open. Yeah, that will be all good. I think that's enough. So we have parking space in here. What we can do, we can add a small connection here so they can actually use it as a connection. There we go. And we're gonna have a couple of trees, but let's just build the rest of our connections in there. So I'm gonna use for now this road just to make some plans in here, how to make a division between group of flats. So I would say probably will be good to have split this in a couple of smaller sections, and my thinking is we can have this road going here and going there. So we're gonna use our network multi-tool to create parallel roads. Yes, of course, on the other side, and all we need to do is just to add a bit more length to it. So I will say there. And of course, the first thing we have to do is select all the nodes, including the one that's hidden somewhere, and then go to terrain height. There we go. The one thing I can change is this connection, because we're gonna have a bit of a transition in between. Perfect. And how to connect those two roads. I think the best way for a nice connection, if I'm gonna add nodes like there, by removing those two, we can have a nice connection there, and adding this, that will give us access to this road in here. That could look a bit nicer, but to do this, I think I'm gonna just use this. There we go. So we have some form of connection here. The only thing I'm missing here is of course water. So let's just add it on. Let's just switch off all the tools, and this pipe is gonna go there, and that's beginning. See, all the pipes we're gonna have, of course they will be under the roads, as they should be. The only thing is the water system that we will have in here, it's not there yet. So just for now I'm gonna use those roads as a reference, and then slowly we're gonna transition from the old system I have in there for whatever was the reason. That can't stay there, let's just Okay. Oh my goodness. I can't leave it. I need to fix it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna fix it, okay? Okay, so our water system is fixed now. Just to show you a quick glimpse, it's just you know, under the roads, a bit closer what it should be. So we have this part in here, so that will be our commercial site. What you often have with the stores, with the commercial site like this, you could have a couple of maybe not industrial units, but like a couple of commercial strike industrial units in there. So that's something I would like to have in here as well, and that's something I would like to add like this. So we're gonna have this road there. If I keep angles like that, and I could have them like there. Oh my goodness, that was a disaster. How to have them as close as possible, but on a straight road. I would like to have them like at least 1 unit away. There we go. And all those units I will try to show you, they look like something like this. So that's something you can have, you know, like a, let's just say like a tire place, all you there we go. So things like this. So basically it's a big warehouse that was actually changed to something more commercial. This one, and I will have this one as well. Perfect. So just to show you, car repairs, storage solutions, and things like that. So that's something you can probably see, you know, driving main road, and you see those solutions in there. So that's something I would like to have in here, and I'm just gonna use that road in there to have this connection like this. And I think I'm gonna use this tool just to move it slightly up there. There we go. Because now what we're gonna do, I would like to have access to them from that site. Other one angles. Why do you want to play with me? So if you don't want to play, I'm gonna play with you like this. There we go. And see all those units. If you go to spawn points, you can actually move them there and go for.
I'm famous chef Tony McGoney, owner of Tony McGoney's Steakhouse.
90.
People ask me where I get my award-winning
Then
meat
we're
from.
gonna
It's
go
from
for
place,
this one.
Meaty Bits. No
I wish
matter
there was a
what
way,
you
maybe
need,
if you know the way how
go
to
by
actually
Sunset or
change position of them and change the angle of them, because I know how to change position, but I have no clue how to change angle using the keyboard or dragging or things that nature. Because there we go, that's what we're gonna have. And this one as well, that will go
Last year, Horse
to the
Economy
back.
3 smashed PC sales records and took the industry by
90.
storm. Now the hit Equine
So
Economic
those
Series
guys,
is a new expansion
they
that
have
delves
the
into
access.
cutthroat world of real estate. Horse Economy 3
It's quite busy, which is actually good.
Can you work your way
That
from
work
a
like
horse to be the head of a major real estate empire?
industrial, so we have some workplaces here, and then we need to put something in place to have
Spreadsheets have never been hotter.
a nice transition for the noise level. As you can expect, it won't be quiet in that place, and if that's the case, now we can go to find it, and we can go to couple of offices. That looks actually quite cool, but I think it's just too much in a size. That's looking good. Community center, no, that's data mining agency. That's a nice looking building, but I would say probably something smaller in size, because those buildings here, they're brilliant, yes, but the size of them is just a bit too much. Distribution center office, that will be quite cool to have, but I think I'm looking for something that's actually a nice looking building. Well, a couple of those offices will be actually good. The plane is simple, nothing complicated, and they not high as well, which is the main thing for me. That will be good transition with the height. I like those, they really nice looking building, green, but I'm gonna have them in slightly different place. That's just too small, and that's the vanilla. So I would like to stay with probably like this one, because that's something you can expect to have in here as a transition between. There we go, they looking good. So what we're gonna have, I'm gonna have this one there, and then when you go higher, one another there, and something like this in here. The only thing, I'm just gonna remove you, and using move it, and this tool, we're gonna have this transition there. The only thing, they have access to the back, but they actually don't need deliveries and things like this. So what you could do, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do, you can have that kind of access to it, and that's absolutely fine and enough for them. And then for us to do something nice in here, we're gonna go for, again, same road like this one, and we're gonna have a nice road around our estate, and we're just gonna make this split. So let me just do this with a quick time lapse, and I get back to you in a second. So that's the basic layout we have. As you see, is gridded city, but at the same time the grid is broken a few times, so I'm thinking it's actually gonna look alright. So there will be houses all over the place, but before we do housing, we have to do a couple of services. So I put this hospital there just to see if that's something I'm gonna keep. Probably yes. I mean, the hospital, that will be one place, but see, when it's like a hospital in here, you can expect to have quite a few parking spaces, but the only thing, because of the place we have in here, I don't think there will be enough space for anything bigger. So I was thinking we're gonna add this new parking space, the new DLC, and I would like to use this variation so it's like actually open so you can see, and that will break the height of the hospital a bit, as you see just now. So that will give us enough parking capacity for the hospital, and we can add a few things around here as well. I think we can actually focus all those services in here. So if you go to, that's just, I think it's too modern. So if I just to show you, see if I put that building there, I think it's just too modern in the look. It's great, it's a higher capacity, but at the same time it's just, I don't think it's the right one for our place in here. So this one probably look a bit better, high density as well. But the thing with this, you can actually, like, if you move it in here, the actual tower, the office part of it, fire station, it's actually on the corner. The only thing, I'm probably gonna remove that side from it, but it's just looking much better, and the height of it is just much nicer as we have just now. So I'm probably gonna keep it like this. Then if we go to our police station, this one, it's a high capacity as far as I know, yes, but the building itself, it's actually quite small. So I was thinking having it like, for example, here, because the nice feature of it, you actually have see-through in there, which I actually quite like. I quite like that, and there will be a couple of things in between. We have to add some water pipes in between, and as you see, they don't work with me nice way. So we have fire station, we have police station, we have hospital in there. So basically that's the basics needs we have met. I think we need to go to our, there we go, we need to go to our like a body collection side. But see, the thing with this, because this building is actually, you can't really tell exactly the nature of it. I mean, there is a couple of gravestones in here, but the thing is, it looks like a backup for the fire station. So I would like to have it in here. Maybe I'm gonna cover that, but just for now, that will give us enough body collection. Let's just go for this one. Enough body collection. There we go. That's something I can see on the road. So BMW it is. So that's like our service center for those folks in here. Of course, it's not enough. So my thinking is we can have a couple of things, like a pharmacy will be good to have. Like for example on this corner. In there, that will give us a nice building. As you see, it's actually quite a nice building, so we can have you there. Then if we're gonna add one more, because they actually looking quite cool together, so that's for kids. We're gonna fill this with a park in a second. So we have basic needs. So now we need to think about our school system. So again, what we should have for our primary schools, those couple of schools I would like to use, but for example this one is looking quite nice. So we're gonna have one here, one on this side, so I would say 3, but for them we need to see where we are with our high school. And for the high school, I was thinking one of those high school. We can have one high school in like a center, and I was thinking in here because then you can have you know, couple of other bits and pieces like sport park and things like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put you there, but then using move it, and then all of that could be used for all the add-ons you can expect to have in school. But I would like to use, and I think this one will be actually quite alright to have it. So it's kind of like a complex. Yeah, that will be good. The only thing, we're gonna move it slightly so it's a bit closer to the corner, and we're gonna have a nice footpath in between. And this place in here we're gonna use for features you can expect to have next to your high school. And we need a bit of parking as well. So for the parking, I will use the center of it. So the building I have like was looking into, I was thinking about a couple of those ones as we see in here. First of all, I'm gonna use those big towers. There won't be many of them, but I would like to use a couple. So what I have, this terrain, it's not exactly even, so that's a bit higher. And I would like to have a couple of them like in here. Then we have higher terrain once again in here. So again, I'm gonna put a couple of those buildings there, and again the higher terrain, it's here. So I will say probably 3 of them will be more than enough. And that will be our tower building. So now the only thing we need to do is just, they can't be like plopped in like this. We just need to do something for them for the look. So I was thinking about moving them a bit. Let's just see which one was it. That was Alt. So with Alt in place, I can move them 45 degrees, and I think I'm gonna copy this one as well, like in there. So when we have all them in here, I would like to place them something like this. So they won't be sitting with exactly same position. So this one should be like maybe here, and that will be in the corner like there. And this one, that's too far away, we can have you there. So those 5, we can actually select them and line up. Okay, and now those 2, they can go to different place. So all we have to do now is just to move them slightly down. I will say like there, and having them in here, I would say we can just add, you know, a couple of paths, something nice, just to move those people around, so it's not like angles. Not really. Maybe we can just do something, you know, that kind of nature, something there, just to keep them going. And we can have one in here, and we can have one there, and I will say one should be there. So having this in place, I don't think we're gonna have like a tall trees around, but at the same time, let's just do this. We can have you there, and we can have it something like that nature. Of course, with so many people staying in here, you need some parking space. We'll get into that in a second, but I'm thinking like, you know, couple of spaces close enough, but at least we're gonna have some people in. And then I will say in this case Eastern Cottonwood will be actually quite good to have, because it's not white tree, but at the same time, you know, you have some greenery next to you. So let's just see how it's gonna look like. And we should have some place, you know, for kids to play and stuff like that, so we're gonna add it on. I think I'm gonna use the one I used before, which was this. It's looking good, but at the same time you can have it next. There we go. So that will give us some options, and we can have one more there, one more in here, and on this side, you know, there will be a lot of kids playing around, so I will say that will be good call to have a few things. For the parking, I'm not sure yet, but we get there. And again, path through there, and that will give us some options. The only thing with jump game, the only thing with them is, let's just see what's the population. I would say they modern. Save and apply. Save and apply, and we can use this one as well. So that will give us a boost into the population, so every single one of them, so that's 1000 people basically living in here, which is brilliant. And then when that's done, we can do exactly same thing with all the rest. So the next step for our community will be just adding more buildings. I have a couple of them on a side. The ones I was thinking will be probably one of those ones in here. So I'm just gonna copy them, and we're gonna find the best place for those buildings, just to find what will be the best spot for them. So we have our main high density park. We up to 15,000 people in there, which is absolutely brilliant. Mainly residential, couple of shopping mall, couple of stores all over the place. But that was the main purpose today, for us to get more population. But if you go there, we still have like 47,000 people, but we still have 25,000 jobs to fulfill. I think we're gonna go higher with this number in here because that's still growing. It's still not all the buildings fill. The only thing, of course, now what's left is just to give them some kind of a better look. That's the main thing, because see those people, they just look walking around all over the place and it's just not looking good. So what I was thinking, like, see, if you have this place in here, we can have nice path to every single of those buildings, and just to encourage people just to use those paths in slightly nicer way. At the same time, if you have things in here, I think we're gonna use quite heavy our foliage. As you see there, I would say just needs this tree. That's absolutely amazing tree that, because of the nature it's quite tall, it just maybe not hiding, because I don't want to hide the height of it, sorry, but it just making this a touch nicer. So I would say cottonwood, maybe lantana and a6. So let's just try to do something with this. So we're gonna make a new brush. I would say, guys, let me just finish off that and get back to you. So thank you guys for today's video, and I hope to see you next time when we're gonna start adding some more residential building on the other side of our big park we're gonna have in the city center. It was pleasure as always to be with you today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.